Hello, and welcome to the Lanterns edition of the Ohio State Football Preview. I'm Brian Nelson.
And I'm Khalid. Now let's take a look at what the Buckeyes can expect going into the Big Ten Championship against Wisconsin. Ohio State is coming off of a 56-27 victory over their rival Michigan. The Buckeyes currently are undefeated with a record of 12-0 and will face off against Wisconsin for the second time this season. In the Buckeyes' first meeting against the Badgers, sophomore quarterback Justin Fields threw for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns in rainy weather. He also managed to rush for another score as well. However, J.K. Dobbins was the star of the offensive unit as he rushed for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns against the top rush defense in the nation at the time. Dobbins went on to record 221 all-purpose yards and became the first Buckeye to record 1,000 rushing yards as a freshman, sophomore, and junior. The big day for Dobbins would earn him Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week honors. Also on the receiving end of things, sophomore wide receiver Chris Olave had a big day as he caught both of Fields' touchdown passes and had 7 catches for 93 yards. The Buckeyes proved that they have one of the nation's best offensive units that day as they scored 38 points on what was not only one of the best defenses in the country, but the best rush defense in the country. The Badgers won't lack any motivation as they will head into Big Ten Championship weekend, not only looking to avenge their loss early in the season, but to avenge their 59-0 embarrassing loss in 2014's Big Ten Championship.
Both Justin Fields and J.K. Dobbins made Heisman statements with their performances against Michigan. Fields had a lot of success through the year as he completed 14 of 25 passes for 302 yards and 4 touchdowns. In addition, he also suffered a knee injury that had him leave the game momentarily, but he managed to return the same drive and scored for Ohio State with a huge passing touchdown to freshman wide receiver Garrett Wilson. Austin Mack, KJ Hill, and Chris Olave were the other receivers Fields connected with for a touchdown. Dobbins was also unstoppable on the ground. He had a career high in rushing yards with 211 yards on 31 attempts with 4 touchdowns. The first half of the Michigan game may well have been the first time the Ohio State defense was legitimately challenged. Without redshirt sophomore Shaun Wade starting at cornerback for the Buckeyes and redshirt senior cornerback Damon Arnett being limited with a broken hand, the Wolverines were able to find plenty of success through the passing game. Senior quarterback Shea Patterson was red hot in the first half. He completed 14 of 19 passes for over 250 yards, and Michigan not only led Ohio State early on, but put up 16 points in the first half to stay within 2 scores of the Buckeyes. However, Ohio State made key adjustments at halftime and were able to shut down Patterson in the second half, and he was only able to complete 4 of 24 passes. Junior cornerback Amir Reep had a key interception that stopped a Michigan drive.
On Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium at Indianapolis, Indiana, the Buckeyes will take on the Badgers led by 5th-year Wisconsin head coach Paul Chryst, who is a 2-time Big Ten Coach of the Year winner. Star running back Jonathan Taylor will be leading the Wisconsin offense as he currently ranks number 2 in the country in rushing yards with 1,761 and 4th in rushing touchdowns with 20. The talented junior has consistently been one of the best backs in the country since his freshman year in 2017. However, Taylor has struggled against the Buckeyes defense after he finished the October matchup against the Buckeyes with 52 yards on 20 carries and no touchdowns. Complementing Taylor will be starting quarterback Jack Coan, who's had an impressive season as he ranks 3rd in the Big Ten in passer efficiency with 161.6 and has thrown for the 2nd least amount of interceptions with just 4. Coan currently has 2,307 yards on the season and 17 touchdowns. And leading receiver will be junior wideout Quintez Cephas, who has 720 yards and 6 touchdowns on the season. Wisconsin will lean heavily on Jonathan Taylor, but with Ohio State's top-ranked defense, they will need Taylor to look like the Heisman candidate he is if they want to have a different outcome this time around.
Wisconsin's defense looks to avenge their poor performance against the Buckeyes from back in October. The Badgers gave up over 400 yards to Ohio State, particularly to J.K. Dobbins. They still present a difficult matchup as the number 6 defense in the country, giving up an average of 277 yards per game, and overall are still the best defense the Buckeyes have played. Their linebacking core has still had a lot of success throughout the rest of the regular season. Redshirt seniors Chris Orr and Zach Bond both lead the team with 11.5 sacks, and along with sophomore Jack Sanborn, are the team's leading tacklers. Despite their overall failure at stopping Ohio State's offense earlier this season, the Badgers present a legitimate threat to Justin Fields. Wisconsin sacked Fields 5 times in October, and after Fields was hurt momentarily against Michigan, Ohio State's offensive line will need to be on high alert this Saturday. However, unless Wisconsin is able to stop J.K. Dobbins in the run game, the Badgers will have a lot of difficulty containing the Buckeyes offensively. After beating Wisconsin earlier this season, Ohio State now leads the all-time series 60-18-5 and have won the past 7 matchups. Wisconsin is the last obstacle for Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes. A win clinches a Big Ten title and a spot in the college football playoff for Ohio State.
The Buckeyes kick off against Wisconsin this Saturday at 8 p.m. at Lucas Oil Stadium. To stay updated on all things Ohio State, follow The Lantern and Lantern TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm Khalid Hashi.
And I'm Brian Nelson, and thanks for watching Lantern TV.